Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Charles Frederick. I go by the Buddy 98425 on PlayStation, and I go by the Childish Adult on YouTube. And I just want to show you the fastest, easiest way to make money early on in No Man's Sky. I've looked at a number of things, and nobody talks about this, and it really is the fastest way. So as you can see, I have about 668,000 units. I've played for about an hour and a half just to get to the point where um, I have my warp drive, it's full, and I did warp between a few systems to get where I am. I have some uranium to fill my launch thrusters because those come in handy when you're trying to make the money. I have 100 ion batteries and 100 life support gels so that I can constantly stay healthy while I'm playing and while I'm earning money. I do have this on permadeath mode, so if I die, which isn't uncommon, the game is over and it'll erase my save game. So what you want to do, and luckily enough I have one right here, is once you can warp, you want to warp around until you find a system that has one of these. A planet with aggressive sentinels. It's big and red there on the bottom. Uh, and you want to just go right down to it. On these planets, sentinels are everywhere, and they drop gravitino balls. I haven't collected any yet, and I actually haven't even been to this planet yet, but every single time I've gone down to one that has aggressive sentinels, they drop the gravitino balls. And as soon as you get down to the planet, you can do a quick look around to see if you see any. They come in a variety of colors, green, blue, red. Oh, there are some right there. It looks like I might have blue on this planet. So the first thing you want to do is find some gravitino balls. You can look for them. They show up in your visor as those little yellow with 2 stars. As soon as you see them, they pop up. The minute you start collecting them, sentinels will attack you, so you have to be on your toes about this. I always keep my starship exactly where I'm collecting the gravitino balls, especially early on, because you're very susceptible to dying. A lot of times there's some more right there. See, they end up in the same area. So what I'm doing, and as you can see, I've already triggered three sentinels for the alert. So let's see, where were those gravitino balls? Thought I landed right next to them. Oh, I landed on them. That's not a great idea because they're hard to collect when you're directly on them. But I'm getting them. That one might be tougher. Nope, I was able to get it. All right, back into my ship. We're going to look around again. And as you can see, those sentinels are attacking me very ferociously. They are not playing around. And the longer you stay on the planet, obviously, the longer those sentinels are going to attack you. Ship doesn't seem to want to move for me. And see, what you end up doing is just searching the planet for those gravitino balls. Once I find some more, I'm going to land again. Usually they're clustered around one another. So if you can find a small cluster, you can usually find quite a few of them. But I'm not having quite that amount of luck. They're much easier to spot too in the daytime. I just happen to come looking for them. And they're blue gravitino balls on a blue planet. Right here, I'll show you. Okay, so I'm not finding any, like, just looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to land. And what I'll show you is right away, I only have 8, but 5 are worth 200,000. So they're worth 40,000 units apiece. What I'm going to do is move them over to my large capacity storage because they can fit 10 each. So I keep them empty. I'll jump out, and it looks like actually there's some right there. Now you have to be very careful because if you're running too far from your starship, you can really kill yourself. If you look, my protection is going down really quickly, and that doesn't even account for the sentinels attacking me. So let's see what I got. Ooh, this one, a lot of times you can find 8, 10, 15 in a spot. Sometimes you can even find a lot kind of clustered together. I'll try to run between them. Oh, I lost my starship. See, this happens to me often. There we go. As you can see up in the left-hand corner, I've been attacked pretty heavily by these sentinels, and if I don't get to my starship quickly, I am going to bite it. And on permadeath mode, you really do bite it. I got in! Yay! See, there we go. No fuel, but I can fuel that up with the uranium. Take off. You can shoot the sentinels, and it'll get you a little bit of time. And the pungum, or whatever it's called, that they drop or you get from them when you kill them is actually quite valuable, but it's just not as valuable as finding these Gravitino balls and just collecting them and filling your inventory. So I'm going to spend a few minutes here looking around. But let's see. I've just started doing this, and I've already collected, let's see, about 640,000 units worth of Gravitino balls. Now, I've seen articles, and the other ways of making money either take a really long time or have you jumping through really dangerous hoops by collecting egg sacs from creatures that quite frankly will kill you very easily. For me, I can avoid these sentinels much easier than I can these creatures. Now, I'm not having much luck finding the Gravitino balls, but then usually, if you keep looking, you'll find them. And I think people are inherently wary of the planets with the aggressive sentinels, but that's where you're going to really find. What would be really nice is to find a nice patch of them so I can show you kind of. Oh, there's some right there. There we go. I'm going to land. I'll refill my thrusters just because I like to have them full before the sentinels come calling. Saw a few. Where were they? There they are. All right, let's go collect a few more. Oh, look at me. Come on, guys. Let's get out of there. Jump back in and take off. Now I'll get in my ship. I'm going to fill my life support. I'm going to fill my hazard protection. That's why I collect the ion batteries. We're going to go back down to the planet. See if we can find some more of those Gravitino balls. Now, once the storms come, it's a little more difficult to see them, but not impossible. And again, if you're on a planet where they stand out a little more, like they're red, or gold is a good one to get because they stand out. This is not going very well. Oh, this planet's actually good because I can also collect some of these storm crystals. Actually, this planet's doing me double duty. You can collect these storm crystals when there's a storm and the Gravitino balls when there's no storm. You're going to make bank on this planet. Or a planet. I didn't even intend for the storm crystals, but they're worth even more. Again, you can store 5 of them at a time, but, you know, they're worth almost 130,000 units apiece. Oh! The storm's clearing. Oh, no, not quite. I landed on it. They let me land right on that storm crystal. Again, these are hazardous environments that are going to eat right through your suit. So you have to be vigilant in how you're collecting. But again, I have about an hour and a half into this game. So my character has no extended upgrades on anything. The only upgrade is a shield upgrade on the ship that I found originally in the game while searching. Oh, some more storm crystals. Right back on the storm crystals again. Now you can find storm. Oh, and that's the problem with the storm crystals. As soon as the storm ends, they are covered by rock again. So now that the storm has ended, I am going to start looking. Oh, and look at what is right in front of me. I can put... Oh, I've already filled my high-capacity exosuit. As you can see, usually you can have hundreds of these Gravitino balls and storm crystals as the game goes on and you get more inventory space. But what I'm going to do is just show you how easy it is. Look at these things. They're just too late half the time. Oh, forgot to refill my launch thrusters, which... So my ship's taking a little damage, but it usually isn't so bad when it's coming from the ground. Oh, there's some more. Look at that. I'll refill my launch thrusters. You know what? Maybe I'll even refill my hyperdrive, get an extra space, because then I can move. I'll just start filling up my... In fact, I like to fill that first. Sorry if I'm going a little quick here, I just wanted to... Now I'm right back on top of these, so we're going to just start collecting again. Come back in. Oh, look at that, even more, right on top of me. I just like to hop around. You keep filling up your launch thrusters. And that's why I get the uranium, because trying to use the actual launch thruster fuel that you can get takes more effort. Where the uranium you can buy, I just bought all that uranium from a space station before I jumped to this one. And actually, I think I bought some more in this system as well, just to make sure that I had a couple different... because those will empty and I'll be able to put more stuff, like more of these Gravitino balls. Sometimes I forget where they were when I land. And then I gotta like, uh-oh, I'm gonna be killed if I don't find them. And I hate wasting my launch thrusters. Behind me? Ah, there they are. And you can hear them light up when you get close. Right. And these are relatively small groupings of the Gravitino balls. There's times you can find groups of 15 of them. That is not uncommon if you find the right Sentinel planet. And there's a lot of times where what I'll do is on these... there was one, but I don't like landing for one. Sometimes I will if I'm not finding them, but in general, I think it's better to look and find a good pocket of them. Sometimes you skip over one and you're like, well, maybe I should have landed. A lot of times what I'll do here is if I think I might have, I don't think I've found everything in that area, but I'll go to another one and hope that there are some fresh Gravitino balls that have been dropped. Not sure what that was. But I'm on a mission here to show you, oh, there we go. And usually once you find some, you can find a lot more. So what I've gone ahead and done is almost filled my exosuit and my ship. Perfect. And sometimes you end up in a situation where they don't come right for you and you might be able to do this. Let's see. They're searching for me, but they don't see me, so let's see. What is happening here? There we go. Let's see if we can find it. Let's refill my suit quick. You gotta be quick about it so that I don't start getting beat up by these sentinels. See if I can find any more. Where is it? So far up. I hear the sentinels, but I don't see them, and they're not shooting at me yet, so... Well, that was not a good idea. I'm used to my other game where I have a much better exosuit, and he can... His jetpack works a lot better. But I wanted to show you how easy it is early in the game when it's tough to get money. It's tough to get units early in the game, especially when you want to buy a new ship or you want to get some launch thrusters. And that's what I'm going to be showing you next, is how to improve your ship with just tremendously with just a little bit of money. And then by improving the ship, you can then sell it, because anytime you improve your ship, it goes up in value. So case in point, in my other game that I've got about 40 hours into, I have a Class S exotic. It's a Mosquito ship, and all its storage, all of its inventory is open. And it's worth, I bought it at 8 million, and it's worth about 172,500,000, I think. While I'll never sell it because I love that ship and I put a lot of effort into getting it, it just goes to show how much money you can make. And I put about 10 million into it, which will be in the next episode that I show you, but this was a pretty good one. You can see there's there in this one. I tend to look to see, there's a couple over there I can grab. Try not to kill myself while showing you. Alright. Oh, now they sent the big boys after me. This is when it gets really tough. I'm in. That's when it gets tough. They start sending those big boys after you. I saw some right here. Slime. We will charge my hazard protection. We will charge those launch thrusters. And we will jump out and... And I've been taking a few chances by going farther from my ship than I need to. Especially considering I have enough uranium that I can constantly be flying to a new grouping of the Gravitino balls. See one there. Sometimes there's more than one if you see one. They can be really small. This one only has one, so that's kind of a bummer, but I'll look and see if there's any other within view. I am not seeing any, and the Sentinels are on the move, so I will jump back in. Going. Alright. We'll do it a little longer. I want to be able to buy a new ship. See, now that the blizzard's coming in, I'll be able to look for both frost crystals and the Gravitino balls. The frost crystals are interesting because you can see them even when they're not completely out, but it is a little difficult. That's one right there. I'll land in front of it since the storm is coming. There's a couple frost crystals. This is what they look like before the storm hits. I will get back in. You'll see them open up in a second. And here they come. You can see them start to glow. And boom. And these are great if you can collect them. This is what I had originally collected because they're worth quite a bit of units. But you have to rely on the storm, and so what would happen is I'd go to a planet, and then I would end up sitting there for long chunks of time waiting for the storm to come back. When I realized the Gravitino balls are much easier to collect, and you can get them just as quickly. But because I happen to be on this planet, and I can do double duty, I can keep looking for the Gravitino balls when the storm isn't coming. But see, look at this. Oh man, this couldn't have gone any better. Where were those storm crystals? They were on the hillside, weren't they? Well, if I could find them. There they are. Oh. That elite Sentinel force is coming, so I gotta be careful. That was a good one. I got 2 of those, a couple different of those Gravitino balls, but now I have to find my ship, which is... I tend to misplace my ship a lot. And that is what'll get me... That's what gets me in trouble. Alright. I'm going to refill my launch thrusters. I'm going to... refill. I bought enough life support and ion batteries that I can just refill whenever I feel like I want to. They don't have to be all the way down. It's the same thing with the launch thrusters and the uranium. When you use launch thruster fuel, you have to make sure it's all the way down, otherwise you're kind of wasting your fuel. But when you're using the uranium, you can refill it at any time. What I'm going to do is finish up filling my inventory, because what I really want to show you is just how much you can make from a... And the ice crystals are kind of easier to see during the storm. I won't lie, I got lucky with these ice crystal or storm crystals, so I could show you. I just had planned on showing you a world with the Gravitino ball, but... Now the storm is clearing, so immediately when the storm clears, the crystals disappear. But luckily for me, right there, before I even go out, I don't even need to fill it, look at that. But I will top off my thrusters. Because that becomes the biggest problem, is if you don't have enough launch fuel to be able to go from cluster to cluster, you end up trying to make more launch fuel, get out and harvest the different things you need for it, which at this point I can't even remember. That's a few more. And I'll refill my launch thrusters, no reason not to. And again, this has just started, so this ship has very little in the way of abilities to it. So if you have played for a little while and have managed to get your hands on a better ship, it'd be an interesting creature to feed some pellet to. And we got more right there even. Look at this. And this is what you'll find a lot when you're playing. You'll find sections where they're kind of grouped together. And you can, if you're not playing on permadeath mode, it's much easier to run. Are they over here? Uh-oh. You can use your visor to scan for them as well, but they were right in front of me. I'm sure somebody knows where they're at, but I don't, because this is what I do to myself all the time. Oh, there they are. I ran right past them. Alright, back to the ship with me, otherwise I will die very quickly. Alright, we are getting close to filling that up. What's nice is when they're the bright, like, red Gravitino balls, or the green ones set against, like, a tan. Blue on blue is actually quite difficult sometimes, and I'm a little older, 40 to be exact, and my eyesight's not like what it used to be, I suppose. Doesn't mean I can't play video games poorly, though. Try to teach others how to make money, because for me that's the biggest thing, is I like having the money to be able to buy new ships and any ship that I see. The worst was I came across a really cool exotic and I didn't have enough money or enough things in my inventory to purchase it, and so by the time you go and collect anything, the exotic is gone. So I try desperately to always have enough money in there. Well, it looks like it's coming a little harder to find these Gravitino balls. There's a storm crystal, so if the storm were happening... But all you got to do is look, and they are everywhere. So, you know, as long as you have the patience to scan the planet for a minute, there are much faster ways to earn a lot of money, and that involves harvesting some of these plants and creating polyfibers and circuit boards, and using that in conjunction with your freighter to get a lot of money. Well, now that I can't really find any more at this particular point really easily, and I wanted to just make this a really easy one to follow and nothing too long. Alright. One more quick scan, and if I don't see any, I will head back up and see how much money we made. Usually once you find some, you'll find a lot, but as you can see, I'm having a hard time here. Also found quite a few different places I could land and search, but there we go. Actually, a couple more. Why not? How much room do we have? Plenty. You know, another 5, that's 200,000 units. You can glance up over the hill just in case. But the longer you stay on these planets, the more sentinels they send after you. So it does become a dangerous task, but not that dangerous when you don't stray too far from your ship. With your ship there, you can just easily get right back, like here. There's one Gravitino ball. Gravitino, I got it right. And as you can see, there's a small one, so there was actually 2 here. And you could use your scanner. Oh, and there's some over there, so I could then highlight those. That's honestly the best way to do it. From one to the other. The reason I tend to not do that is because there are usually so many in your vicinity that it's easy to overlook ones. Well, and where did those go? Well, isn't that fun? There we go, look at that. And, you know, you can definitely get the damaged machinery. They have nanites in there. I never collect the residual goop. Sometimes I will, and then I'll store it for future in case I need it. But this was a good one. 3, 4, 6, 8. That's huge, you know? I mean, one launch and I found 8. And as you can see, it took me a minute or a minute and a half or so to find them again. But once I did, I can take 5 of them, move them over here. I can fill my launch thruster. And so then this becomes a game of patience and dodging the sentinels. And as you play the game and you get stronger and your exosuit gets more powerful and your multi-tool gets more powerful, you can easily fight these sentinels and kill them and then just collect the Gravitino balls at your leisure. Even on permadeath mode, where you have to worry about your save game being erased if you die. Well, alright. We've done a pretty good job here of filling the inventory. I would normally keep looking, just as I showed you a minute ago, but I do really want to just show you how much money you can make. Alright, let's head back up to the space station. Now, we didn't quite fill everything up, but we've got, you know, a good start on Gravitino balls and the storm crystals. So, we're going to head right to the space station. Warp there. We are going to head on in and let's see what we can get from them. Now, when you're playing and not taping it, what you can do is you can find out what space station is offering the best deal on the particular products you want to sell. So the Gravitino balls, while they might be not as worth as much here, they might be worth more at a different space station. And while that won't necessarily be a big deal right now because I don't have all that many, if you fill your exosuit with them and have 200-300 Gravitino balls in your inventory, you really do want to find the best deal because you'll earn another 1,000,000 or 2 credits. So first thing we'll do is see what we got. I'm going to go ahead and sell. Look at that. 3,075,000 in units from the Gravitino balls, about 1,000,000 from the storm crystals, another 1,000,000 there, and another 1,000,000 there. So I went down to the planet for 15-20 minutes, earned 6,000,000 units. So as you can see, that is by far the fastest way to earn the units. And all you have to do is kind of leapfrog these Sentinels. I hope that really helped, and I hope you can start making tons of money and have an awesome ship that's worth tons that you love. Thanks for watching.